Alright, so I'm gonna speed through this because this is just a whole bunch of green talk, a bunch of green propaganda coming from Al Gore. Who's been proven wrong, but that don't matter. So here's important. It's talking about the 15,000 living species disappear each year, paralleling the daily death of languages and cultures that are overwhelmed by the flood of homogeneity that accompanies the triumphant market. So this culture of liberalism claims to be all-inclusive, but it's a conformity culture of consensus, a very democratic, tyrannical culture. So he's saying all hope is not lost. In the privileged regions, this agonizing reality has already inspired ecologically sensitive movements. So this is what's good. The countries of the north are doing what is good, controlling your birth rate, producing goods with less energy but more information and less pollution, stabilizing the concentration of greenhouse effect gases. I mean, with this cold winter, I would like some more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, to tell you the truth. Reducing emissions and freezing our butts off by at least 60%. Nitrogen oxide emissions, chlorofluorocarbons, and so forth. But of course, carbon dioxide has to be taxed because that's what we exhale, and life itself is a pollution. But anyway, now they're talking about the North versus South, how South is not going to respect these rules of the North. First off, because they're BS. Africa has exposed all this greeny stuff as nonsense. And yeah, it's like an economic warfare. So why should India or China go with our refrigerators so that affluent white-skinned northerners won't get melanoma? I think it's because of all the skin creams they get melanoma, but anyway, carbon dioxide is bad because we're all burning up here. Already Brazil refuses to renounce the burning of a parcel of blah blah blah. In a world turned upside down by nomadism, the need for a scapegoat will reappear. A half-century after the end of the Second World War, the specter of racism again haunts a forgetful planet. The new racism will have many faces. It reveals itself in the opposition between Islam and Christianity, both of which are now hated groups worldwide, and it can already be seen in the widespread hostility to dark-skinned immigrants who search for home and hearth in the inhospitable north. I was recently in the north, in the high desert, and I don't know if it was my dark skin or my lifestyle, but it was quite inhospitable. If the people of power in the emerging spheres of prosperity knew how to think in the long term, they would watch carefully the peripheries at their doors. That's why Trump is hated, because he is a person of power in the declining sphere of prosperity. And he tries to think long term, at least according to his slogan. In the coming world order, there will be winners and there will be losers. The losers will outnumber the winners by an unimaginable factor. They will yearn for the chance to live decently, and they are likely to be denied that chance. They will encounter rampant prejudice and fear. They find themselves penned in, asphyxiated by pollution, neglected through indifference. The horrors of the 20th century will fade by comparison. So he's saying the poor will live in the terror of the 20th century, pollution, neglect, and locked up, locked in, penned in. So all these three factors will make it a worse horror than last century. That was chapter 3 of Millennium, Winners and Losers in the Coming World Order.